Welcome back to another episode of the Fit and Fabulous podcast. I'm so excited to have you join us today. We have a fantastic show lined up filled with tips for living your healthiest and happiest life. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get started.
And we're back with another episode of the Fit and Fabulous podcast. That it was a little bit close. We're going to zoom out. Anyway, what is up, you guys? I'm going to take out these earrings because they do not mix very well with the headphones. So we're going to take these out really quick. Okay, there we go. Anyway, what is up, you guys? So today we have why carbs are actually good for you. And then I have a list of good carbs versus bad carbs because there are bad carbs out there, but you do need carbs to survive and live. Actually, you don't. That's a lie. I shouldn't say that. You don't need them. They're non-essential, but if you're working out, they're helpful. So I rephrased that. You don't need them to live. But anyway, so why are carbs important? So you have this thing called glycogen in your bloodstream. So when you're working out, you're using that glycogen, that stored glycogen, to help fuel your workout. So if you're not eating carbs, it's going to go to your backup glycogen, which is from fat and then protein. But you want more from your carbs because that is it's going to help you replenish faster is what I'm trying to say. So with glycogen, what is glycogen? That's another question, right? So glycogen is the stores of, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Glycogen is stored sugars. What? Sugar? Yeah, sugar. So there are natural sugars, obviously, and then there are artificial or non-natural sugars, So like, obviously you don't want to go and eat like white sugar. That's not good for you. But there are natural sugars and stuff that are good for you. And I will go over those later in this podcast. You have to use those sugars to help regulate your blood pressure. So without that, your blood pressure is going to drop down. So obviously that's bad. You don't want low or high blood pressure. So if you're taking in too much, that could potentially give you high blood sugar. Now I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that. I have not done research on that because we all know Google is not always right, and I'm not a doctor. I did not go to school for that. But it makes sense that if you're not taking in enough, that your blood sugar would go down. But if you're taking in too much sugar, you're going to have high blood pressure. Obviously, stress is a relator to high blood pressure. That I do know. But, you don't want to have high blood pressure from having both of them. So, you want to make sure that you're sustaining. But by working out, you are helping to regulate that blood pressure because you're actually using some of that stored glycogen that you have and burning it off. So you do use it like fairly quickly. So that's why I personally eat like 250 grams of carbs a day. What? That's a lot. I know. But it's not because it's all good carbs. Yes, good carbs. There are such thing. I know. It's crazy to think about, but there are good carbs out there. So, this is probably going to be a short, like 15-minute podcast or some shit like that because, I don't want to keep repeating myself. But, bad carbs. So I'm going to go over a list of bad carbs with you. So, cereal, sodas, pastries, juices. Yes, juices and candy. So with cereal, it's all artificial, or I shouldn't say, I guess it is artificial sugars. So it's not like real sugar added sugar. It's added sugar. That's what I'm looking for. I couldn't even think, dude. It's all added sugar. It's not natural sugars. So it's... Where's my watch going off? Oh, they can wait. Anyway, so it's all added sugars. Added sugars are the ones you really want to stay away from because they are so bad for you. Like those are what's going to make you, gain weight. They're going to make your blood pressure irregular. All that stuff. So like I don't eat cereal at all anymore. I don't remember the last time I even ate cereal. It just doesn't sit well with my stomach, as I've talked about before. Like, I just can't really do high processed foods, but it is a very high processed food. And so that is one thing that's still causing you to gain weight. Some people will use cereal as like a pre-workout snack because it's high in sugar, or you'll see people do like gummy bears or sour strips, gummy worms, like candy, because it's like quick carbs, but in all honesty, like it's not good for you. The Rice Krispie treats, all of that's not good for you. I'm guilty of having fallen into that trap. I was like, oh shit, okay, this fits in my macros, let's go. And it never sits well with my stomach. So at least not anymore, since I've like really honed in on my diet. But those are not good for you at all. Soda, obviously, added sugar. And not only is it a lot of added sugar, these are a lot of fucking calories. Have you guys ever read like the calories? Not even just the nutrient contents, but like the calories on these. 8-ounce can of soda is like 150 calories. So if you're drinking like 4 of those a day, that's 450 extra calories you're taking in right there. And I'm not saying to switch to like diet soda or Coke Zero, because those are just as bad for you because the habit doesn't change. And then you're like, oh, I can get these from somewhere else. No, it doesn't work that way. Now, obviously, I occasionally do have like a diet Dr. Pepper or a Dr. Pepper Zero or something like that. I occasionally do, but I find if I like consistently do that, it makes me bloated. Like I like hold all the carbonation, and it's not good for me. So I tend to stay away from them unless it's like once in a blue moon, like I'm on a road trip and I'm grabbing Chick-fil-A or something like that. But even then, like I typically have my water with me. So unless I'm like doing a meal bundle thing, then it's not worth it for me to get a soda. So, pastries, sometimes the bread and stuff isn't too bad. It depends on the type of bread. So like sourdough bread is actually not really bad for you because it's fermented. But like regular like white bread and stuff like that, that's non-fermented, like that's not great for you. Not great for you at all. And if you look up like online, like I just wanted to look up and see like what they were considering bad carbs, and like there are good carbs on there that they consider, like beans. They're like, beans are bad carbs. And I'm like, that is literally a fruit. Or not a fruit, a vegetable. Like, how is that bad? How are those bad carbs? Like, I don't understand that. But they were like, nope, these are bad for you. So you can't trust everything that you read on Google, people. You cannot trust everything you read on Google. Obviously, like ice cream and candy and stuff like that is not good for you. I'll occasionally get like the Halo Top ice cream, and it's got more dietary fiber, but it also has like fucking added sugar to it. And just because it's like higher in protein and stuff, like does not mean it's good for you, but it's okay to have occasionally. Occasionally you can have it, but like it's not something that should be in your diet. Oh, occasionally means once a week. No, occasionally means like maybe 4 times a year. Like I splurge more on it during summertime because obviously summertime you want a cool treat, like something like that. So when I do it, it's typically in the summertime. So yes, they're close together, but like if you take it out of the whole year, like it's not a whole lot. Juices. This one might be contradictive. Now there are like organic juices that are like squeezed, just like freshly squeezed juices and stuff like that. I'm not talking about like natural sugars. I'm talking about like the Kool-Aid pouches and stuff like that. Like orange juice is, I mean, yeah, it can be high in vitamin C, but all the added sugars and stuff is just not worth it. Apple juice, as much as I love apple juice, I absolutely love apple juice, it's not good for me at all. So like, they got the little Kool-Aid pouches, Sunny D's, all of those things. Like occasionally, yes, again, I will have those, but like, it's not worth fucking up my stomach to me. And you know, the more clean of a diet you get, the more you'll realize how your body reacts to them, and you'll just stay away from them. It's not that I can't have that because I'm on a diet. It's I don't want that, because you know how it makes you feel. So again, you'll learn how your body reacts to stuff. I literally now have to take medication before I go out to eat with friends, because unless it's like steak and stuff like that. But like if we're gonna like pop through like fast food or something and it ain't Chick-fil-A, like honestly, I might not even do that because it's so bad. But like if I'm on a road trip, I obviously don't have like a choice. So I take my medication for it because it's gonna be bad otherwise. Like I'll be stopping every 10 minutes because I need to be in the bathroom. And then I'll be in the bathroom for another 10 minutes because it just fucks me up and goes right through me. Like, I never used to understand how people are like, oh, Taco Bell messes me up. Now I understand, bro. I totally understand. So, you know, it's give and take, but like you will learn how your body reacts to those bad carbs. And everything like that. Like, and then, you know, like sweet treats. So like cookies and, what other sweets are there? And, you know, they have like all sorts of fucking cookies and shit, but like those are like the main one that I can think of. I can't think of like other treats. I don't know, because I just don't eat them anymore. Oh, you know, like ho-hos and ding-dongs and like Twinkies, all that shit. Like, obviously, that's a no-go, bro. Like, you should not be eating those. Those are not good for you. Okay, so now that I've kind of explained what glycogen is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So now that I've kind of explained what glycogen is, what it does, bad carbs, we're gonna get into the good carbs. So what are good carbs? What are carbs that I can have? I got a whole ass list. Okay, whole ass list here, people. Fruits. Those are natural sugars. Those are not added in sugars. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna taste disgusting. They're not gonna taste sweet. They're gonna taste tart or like bland because you've been adding in processed sugars. Once you cut processed sugars out for a while, fruits will taste sweet and it'll be like your sweet tooth. So honestly, fruits are great. They're great for you. It's all natural sugars. It's not, oh my God, sorry. It's not going to be added sugars. So they're good sugars. Okay. They're good sugars for you. We also have sweet potatoes. Now, I personally don't like sweet potatoes, but sweet potatoes and yams, like, I just can't do those. But those are another good carb source for you. The ones I personally like to use are white potatoes and white rice. Like, those are the ones that I use the most. And people are like, oh, potatoes are bad for you. Rice is bad for you. They're high carbs. No, they're good carbs. They're ones you need. And rice is actually, like, you know, they're lower in calorie. Like, one serving of rice is like 150 grams. Or is 150 calories, and then white potatoes are like 110 for like 150 grams of potato. So like it's a lot. It's a lot of food because I usually double up on both of those because I'm, you know, try and keep it lower fat because I get my fats from my meats. But so I try and keep my carb sources like low fats, and those are really good low fat, high carb options. You know, and then you have the white rice versus brown rice debacle. White rice is easier for you to digest. You can do brown rice, but white rice is easier to digest. And honestly, like they're both healthy for you. So you do whichever one you want. I personally do white rice. One, it tastes better. Two, it's easier for me to digest, and I can get in more meals with that. We also have chickpeas. These are also good for like protein-ish sources. So, but chickpeas are like, have you ever seen the like Bonanza, I think it is brand? Like those are chickpea pasta. So it's high protein, high carbs, but it's like dietary carbs. So chickpeas are really good for you if you like chickpeas. Again, I'm not a chickpea person. Oatmeal. Now, I'm going to circle back around. Oatmeal can be good for you. I personally don't like oatmeal. I think it's disgusting. It tastes like soggy cereal to me. But, you know, a lot of people will do oatmeal, overnight oats and stuff for breakfast. And again, I'm going to circle back around to that. Pasta. Pasta is very controversial, but pasta is actually really good for you. You just got to find brands that have better ingredients. So usually the protein pastas, like you're paying an extra like dollar or something like that, 80 cents to $1 for it, but it's made with better ingredients. So even though it has like 3 or 4 grams more of protein in it, so it's really not that much more, it's just made with better ingredients and it's easier for your body to digest. So I do recommend using those. But I found one from Aldi that works really well, and it's like $1.50. So Aldi's like literally a cheat code for you guys, just saying. And then this one's gonna sound weird, but milk is actually, whole milk, okay? Not that nasty ass skim 2% reduced fat bullshit. No, I am talking whole milk, baby. Chocolate milk is considered healthy, like good for recovery and stuff, but it's got the sugar in it. Like both of them have sugar in it, but it's a good sort, like it's healthy fats, it's healthy, I'm trying to think. It's got healthy sugars, protein, all of that stuff. Like it is all around good for you. It's great for bone density. So milk is just really, really good for you all around. And I highly recommend drinking whole milk, especially if you're trying to add calories in. Drink a glass of whole milk. Baby, it is so good for you. I swear to God, whole milk, do it. I do get the lactose-free one, so I get the Fairlife brand just because, not that I'm lactose intolerant, but I already eat a lot of cheese and stuff, and so I just don't want to have too much dairy that it's like fucking me up. So I do the Fairlife. My sister, however, is lactose intolerant. Sucks to be her, but it's got all those good fats, and you look at it and it's like 8 grams of fat for a cup or something like that. And people are like, oh my God, there's so much fat. Honestly, that's not that much fat. And they're good fats. They're healthy fats. It's like a fucking avocado, people. Think of it that way. That's the way you should think of it. I don't like avocados because they're bland as fuck, but think of it that way. It's like eating an avocado, but you're drinking it. Yeah. Anyway, so now I'm going to circle back around to the oatmeal part of it. And this goes for, stuff in general. Now, a lot of people eat like bagels or toast or something like that in the morning. And again, it's okay if it's sourdough, but you really should not be eating overnight oats for breakfast unless you're like, people will even add protein powder to it. I think that's kind of gross. But I also try and get all of my protein from whole natural sources, but you really want to have a high protein, high fat diet, or not high fat diet, high protein, high fat breakfast, because that's going to help start the mood for the whole day. It's going to keep your blood or like those glycogen levels in your blood pressure from spiking in the morning. So, I think it's your cortisol. You want to be at the highest point in the morning and not at night, but like, if taking in too much carbs in the morning, like can fuck with that. So really you want to try and keep it low, carb wise. So that's why I usually try and keep it about 30 grams of carbs, not too much. I don't go completely with none because I do like having like hash browns or sourdough bread or something like that. Like I do enjoy having that. So I personally don't follow that. But where you don't have any, but you want eggs with bacon is like a great breakfast. I'll sometimes do ham, but that's a little bit lower fat, higher protein, but bacon's a good one. You could do beef. Like I've been finding beef is like so good in the morning, but beef is so expensive because I have to get the grass-fed shit. But I did find some at Aldi that's like $5.40 per pound, so that's not too bad. But I already eat like 4 pounds of beef a week. It's like 4.5, 5, something like that, like give or take. So it's a lot, but I did find like quite a bit over at Aldi. So I grab that shit up because I've been looking for some. And it's like usually $8 for organic grass-fed 93.7 beef. So $5.40 for 540, 550 for that. That's a fucking steal. So anyway, yeah, that's my little rant for the day and why carbs are good for you, when you should kind of have them. You definitely want to, now if you work out in the morning, you definitely kind of want to go carb heavy right after, just to kind of help restore those levels. But you always want to try and fit your carbs in around when you're working out, because that's the best time to do it, because it's going to restore those glycogen levels. I did forget to say that. But yeah, anyway, so kind of taking on the ride of why carbs are good for you, when you should have them, why you should have them, what type of carbs you should have, all that fun stuff. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. So it was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Awesome sauce. So anyway, have a good one, you guys.